He walked into that interview knowing exactly what he was about to say. And when Katt Williams sat down with Shannon Sharpe in January 2024 and started naming names, the industry didn't just react, it flinched, because what he was describing wasn't a comedian feud. It was a warning about a system. And 2 years later, the Epstein document releases handed us the receipts. Welcome to 13 The Fame Files, where we pull back the curtain on how power actually works in entertainment. And by the end of this one, you'll understand exactly why certain people keep escaping accountability, no matter what surfaces about them. And the answer is not what most people think. Katt Williams appeared on Club Shay Shay and immediately set the internet on fire, calling out Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and Ricky Smiley. Shannon Sharpe later estimated the interview generated around $6 million in value. $6 million. That number tells you how hard it landed. But the money wasn't the point. The point was what Williams was actually describing underneath all the names. A machinery that decides who gets protected and who gets erased. He didn't stumble into that interview with rumors. He spent decades at the highest levels of the comedy industry watching the system work up close. And what he described wasn't any single beef. It was a structure. Once you see that structure, you can't unsee it. And you start recognizing it everywhere. Not just in comedy, but across the entire entertainment industry. Because the same system that decides which comedian quietly disappears is the same system that decided how someone like Jeffrey Epstein could operate for decades without accountability. So, let's talk about how that system actually works. It's not a secret handshake. It's built from tools that are completely normal inside Hollywood. NDAs are the foundation. The LA Times documented years ago how thoroughly non-disclosure agreements have saturated the industry, not just to protect unreleased film details, but to prevent people from speaking about what they witnessed or experienced. Some of these agreements are written specifically so that victims cannot come forward. Once signed, challenging them in court takes years and costs millions. Most people never try. That's the point. The casting couch is real, but framing it as individual predators misses the larger truth. It's a structure that creates extreme vulnerability and exploits it systematically. Young performers walk into rooms where the power imbalance is total, and the unwritten rule is simple: speak up and your career ends before it starts. That's not isolated behavior, that's infrastructure. And then there are the gatekeepers, agents, publicists, managers. Their job isn't just to promote clients, it's to protect the system that keeps everyone employed. When someone becomes a liability, the machinery quietly activates. Projects fall through. Names stop appearing in trade announcements. By the time the public notices someone is gone, the decision was made months earlier. Williams was describing exactly this when he talked about protected circles, the quiet mechanism that decides who rises and who disappears. The critical thing to understand is that it's never one bad actor. The risk is spread across dozens of people, and every single one of them has personal reasons to stay quiet. That's not a side effect. That's the design. Now here's where it stops being theory. In early 2026, the DOJ released millions of pages of Epstein documents, emails, images, financial records, contact logs, and what those documents revealed wasn't just a list of famous names. They revealed how someone like Epstein could slot into an existing protection infrastructure and use it for decades. The documents reference figures including Woody Allen, Barry Diller, and Tommy Mottola, among others tracked in something called the Hollywood Proximity Index, a framework created specifically to map how connected entertainment industry figures were to Epstein's network. Here's what the documents don't tell us, and this matters. Appearing in a contact book or on a flight log is not proof of specific wrongdoing. Epstein was known to exaggerate his celebrity relationships. Being in his orbit is not the same as participating in his crimes. But what the documents do show, clearly and in detail, is the infrastructure he used. The same infrastructure the industry uses for everyone. Publicist Peggy Siegel, who helped connect Epstein to A-list social circles, received $100,000 from him, according to released emails. The Hollywood Reporter mapped how Epstein used the same tools any powerful person in Hollywood uses: reputation management, strategic networking, relationship leverage. The protection system didn't create him. It gave him the operating environment to function for decades without consequence. That's the real story. So, why does this keep happening? Why is the gap between what gets documented and what gets prosecuted so enormous? Statutes of limitations, evidence-gathering challenges, power imbalances inside the legal system itself, NDAs that prevent civil action even when evidence is strong. And the people with the greatest exposure are always the ones with the greatest resources to fight back. The incentive structure is self-reinforcing at every level. Agents protect clients because clients generate revenue. Publicists protect relationships because those relationships keep them employed. Other powerful figures protect themselves by staying silent about what they know. Nobody breaks the loop because breaking it costs more than maintaining it. That's not an accident, it's engineering. Katt Williams understood this in 2024 when he sat down with Shannon Sharpe. He wasn't guessing. He was reporting from decades of direct observation. The 2026 documents gave us the paper trail to confirm what he was pointing at. And here's the piece most people miss. Every time a new scandal breaks, we treat it as an isolated incident. A casting couch story here, an NDA settlement there, a protected figure who somehow walks away clean. We process these as separate events when they're all running on the same system, same tools, same management strategies, same outcomes. The reason we don't connect them is the same reason the system stays intact, because connecting them is exactly what the machinery is designed to prevent. Now you know. The protection system isn't about any single powerful person being uniquely untouchable. It's about infrastructure, legal tools, financial leverage, relationship networks, and silence, enforced by incentives. That's what keeps the pattern invisible. Katt Williams saw it from the inside and said it out loud. The 2026 documents showed us the blueprint. The question was never whether the system exists. We have the receipts now. The question is whether we're willing to look at the pattern instead of just the individual scandals. Drop a comment. Which industry figure do you think the protection system has worked hardest to shield? We read every one. And if you want more breakdowns of how power actually operates behind the scenes in entertainment, subscribe to 13 The Fame Files. We're just getting started.